Good evening, everyone. Welcome again. I hope everyone's had a wonderful week. For those of you who I haven't seen what was it? Tuesday? Yesterday. It was yesterday. It's been a long day, so it felt a little bit longer. Cheers for those of you who are joining me for a drink. Whatever it is. Either a cup of tea or something stronger. I'm never directly starting Ian with exciting stuff, so don't you worry. Cheers, Ian. So this week I promised to make something out of the collection, a collection box, or at least show some things. So it's kind of up to you, I think. I thought I picked a quite an appropriate background for it. Could be any color, any pigment we're going to make. So I'll just leave that up to you, basically. Nothing too fancy, I think. Nothing too, I don't know. I want to say expensive, but I don't think that should be a rule of thumb here. Not when it comes to pigments. Then expensive is just a relative term. What is expensive for a pigment? For something unique. So so I'm just going to be silent until I'm just going to wait. Let me set everything up here. Was this all right here? Yes. What is this? That's funny. Extra options there. Sorry, on it. I had to check. Basically, I think we can start with maybe a color group. 3 ones. We had a blue box. We had 3 ones. Like, what was that? We had a green box, a blue box, and a red box. Basically, we also had a mixed box, which I can also get. We had an ultramarine box, which I am a little bit careful with, since some of them are just. I'm not talking ultramarine greens only. Some of the blues are quite unique still, though they are ultramarines. Either overcooked or undercooked blues. Some of them are still quite lovely and rare. So I'm just going to be a bit careful with that. If we're not going to do that, I can just continue making paint. The yellow box, please. Well, I asked about that, like I said last week. I asked Kramer. I think it was. I know I asked David Kramer once, but I also know that I sent a request of it to the customer service asking if they will get a yellow box, and it wasn't scheduled, at least not when I asked, and that's, I think, a year or two ago, maybe a year and a half, I think. So yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, I know that's why you say I'm I'm getting to know you, every one of you, or at least some of you, and I expect nothing less from you, Ian. I don't know if that's a good thing. For me, it is. We can make our own yellow box, right? It's more than enough here. We can put some natural, still the grain, maybe some Hansa, nickel azo, a lot of ochres, chrome yellow. That's supposed to be the toxic one. I'm going to put that over here. You evil. I think that's, you're quite okay for someone evil. If that's a thing. I don't know if that's a thing. So I was kind of messing around with my setup here this afternoon. For those of you who weren't here yesterday, again, that was only yesterday, I'm now able to play some music, although, yesterday I also played just some piano tunes and things like that on the background. I'm allowed to do that now, but also I changed some camera things, I have a microphone over there for if I am choosing pigments, or if I'm talking about pigments that I see, that you can actually hear me, since talking that way will be completely kind of mumbling in the background when it comes to these two microphones I have over here. So I thought that's one USB device. I'm not using that one quite often, so let's put a camera there, or maybe use that USB connection for a camera, maybe over here on my desk or anywhere else. Since it's kind of like I've minimized my setup-ish. I mean, I still have way too many things, and let's see if everything is working. That is working. That is working. Was afraid of that. Last week I thought that resolution was a bit on the low side for something close up, especially since I zoomed it in. I cropped the image. So it should be popping back to normal right now. There we go. So let's have a look if this is going to work as well. If this is going to work. Just this close-up, the close-up over here. Then I have my phone, which should connect right now. There's an app for it that goes via Wi-Fi, and it's not native to Apple, but there we go, it's working. So I just need to keep that on. Close up on the slab over here. Something with the microscope there, that like the microscope, just the microscope. Milling in my screen, just my screen and my, what you just saw over there. Again, screen share. Oh, this is my face and screen share, and then the explosive things, as well as the start screen and everything else. So, there's enough angles and enough stuff to use for everything, but still, there was something in my mind. I thought, let's try it out, and then nothing worked anymore. And that was half an hour ago. So, so I was kind of panicking, but that was okay. Now it just works fine. Just need to look if this also works without the, without the software on. That also works. Gulshan, welcome. Yeah, it's well, almost all of all of them, all of you. I know Mark has been a little bit absent the last few times. Just taking a bit of I think just a little bit of time. He did say that I wanted you to know, but I know you all know that whatever is happening right now on the other side of the ocean for me does not represent the population there of the entire country. And he was really worried about, just people thinking that in general. And I assured him that I definitely, but I think you, all of you, very friendly and intelligent people also are very well aware of the fact that the one guide, or at least, a group of people doesn't represent an entire country. Lumo color art number 3. I'm just going to call you Lumo. Sebastian as well, but I know he's been busy with his new studio work and his new house. So those are a little bit things on the more positive side. Although I moving things and moving in general isn't the most pleasant thing to do. Looking forward to it can be, but actually doing it, I know, isn't a very fun thing. He got a bath today. Hope that went well. So yeah, but I do notice Lumo is here again, and are there any sentience, Mr. Pigments? You were one of the first. Paolo obviously was very early today. I'm sorry. I need to put these back to back. Ian, you are funny. Hope you enjoyed your bath, Ian. Anyway, welcome everyone. I notice our little group is kind of expanding and growing, and I am really aware of the fact that I need to make new videos, long form videos. I don't know who said it to me and where it was said, but I need to make long form videos because I'm sharing a lot of information here in my lives, but it's not really searchable. So that's kind of yes. I know yesterday was quite a fun live. When did I do the live when I talked about the Paris green, finding that? That was also somewhere last week, and not... Was that Thursday? Friday? Thursday? Like, I talked about for, I think, 45 minutes how I found my... Maybe I'm just going to do that, make a separate video out of that. How I found my a couple of versions of Paris green in an old monastery. Anyway, I'm not going to start that story again. You need to look that up. I think it was the live where I did 2 lives ago. Thank you, Lumo, where I did PB17. I renamed that today, so that's why I remember. I think it was. Anyway, I need to make more long form videos apart from these long form 3-hour videos where I'm just talking nonsense some of the times and showing you pretty colors. Since this is like, I really enjoy these moments of the week. I mean, this is just a solid group of people that joins every week. But when I'm just producing paint or just making paint, and I need a little bit of different distraction than streaming something on this screen in front of me. I tend to go live as well. Yes, it's like I'm completely the days are kind of getting blurry. Also, last night wasn't a great night, so I don't want to say I've been awake for almost 40 hours now, but there's not a lot of hours in between those. Anyway, long form, so people can actually find it. There's only like 200-300 views on my lives, and that's just views. People click on it, but they don't watch the entire 3 hours, because in that case, I could cash out my YouTube and don't do anything else anymore. But just 300 views of people clicking it, and just a few watching it in its entirety. Well, my long form videos that take about 4 to 7 minutes, where I'm just telling something about a pigment and showing stuff, are way wider spread, which does make sense. Lives are a completely separate category on YouTube, on the algorithm. So yes, let's have a look. I also brought snacks, by the way. I was feeling I needed to eat something, and if I'm staying here for another 2 hours, I need to have something. I know you shouldn't eat, too late, but it's never bothered me. I'm going to make yellow, yes, ticks. Just the originals. I can eat way more of those. Looking for my regular bottle of yellow ochre that I usually use when I make yellow ochre. Right now I only have a small one, but I used to have like the same plastic bottle like Senalier uses, a bottle like this. I know, like I'm telling it to you as if you could show me where it is. I know you can't. Help me with that. Where is it? These are all my pigments that I make my regular line of paint, that I use in my regular line of paint. Oh, it's over there, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. I just use these bottles to... These are easy to refill. Like I have the barrel of ochre, so I'm just filling a few scoops in this bottle, and this is just way more handy. I don't know. Gulchen, you try not to snack as much before bed. Was that much? I just ate one of them. I mean, was that? No, that wasn't much, was it? And in all fairness, you are absolutely right. I shouldn't. I'm sorry, Ian. There's enough for everyone. Like, there's an entire package. It's like, how many? I'm not even going to count them. But they're this thin, and it's still full. I mean, there's one less now. But I'm not going to bed for a while now. Still. Well, my ADHD medication basically the same. But, you know, because of the kids waking up and being quite early every morning, I'll have the long-lasting ones. I take mine at like 6:30, 7 maybe. So it's kind of worn out. Gulchen, I already read that, but I want to repeat that because I'm really interested. I'm keeping this as it is. You saw that Winsor Newton released a historic pigment-based watercolor set. I'm going to look it up. I am going to look that up. Now I'm like seeing things. Sorry, I should just share what I'm. Now I'm seeing these kind of things. Oh, and I just wanna. I wanna have one of those boxes. Oh, that's a video. Yeah, I'm not going to do videos right now. So where is that in the new sets? Revival colors? Brilliant, Fields Orange, Tyrian, Viridian, Cinnabar Green, Mineral Grey, Oswald Grey, Ultramarine Ash. Is this a set you're talking about, Gulchen? How is it, Paolo? Is it nice? Cinnabar Green still is kind of a questionable name for a color that, you know, uses a mineral for its name that isn't even green. And I could tell you how that, you know, how that started, but I forgot about that. Oh, you never used it, Paolo. So maybe one of you has like the background information for that name ready. I wanna, if I say something, I'm really afraid I am going to say wrong things, and I don't want to spread misinformation. There's enough of that going on already. How many spoons did I do? Seriously, I think I was at 3. I hate it when that happens. Sorry. I don't know if any one of you were counting, but luckily we have a live that we can just rewind and just going to watch myself here. Okay, that was 1, 2. I shouldn't spread it like that. 3. And then I lost count at 4. So this is 4. Okay. Sorry about this. JD, thank you very much. I just saw, I know there's a bit of a delay between my audio, my stream and the chat, but I really appreciate it. Yeah, so the scoops are quite clear. I mean, you can't miss that, but spreading the pigment around it kind of confused me there. So yeah. Talking and then reading and then counting, or not counting, but obviously not counting. Luckily, I wasn't the only one. Thank you, Gulchan. Paolo, I asked before if you don't want to share it here, that's fine as well. But let me just say, I hope your week, or at least the days since last live stream, were better at work. And obviously for everyone, I hope everyone had a great week since last Wednesday, or since last live stream. Just a great day, maybe since last live stream. Aren't you aware of that, Ian? I mean, you know, Gulchan is the one who's actually one of the only ones who's actually really helping me during these live streams, reminding me of the dots and, you know, other things I'm literally forgetting right now. Sorry to hear that, Paolo, and I can imagine. How long for your retirement, if I may ask? Why am I mulling with my pellet knife? Oh, they have Japanese stuff again. That's good to know. I should visit them. Seriously, do they have Japanese stuff again? I made sushi myself yesterday, and I wasn't aware it was Japanese weeks, because some things are so much cheaper there. Ah, that really bums me out. More than 10 years. Okay. In my head, like, it would be I don't know your age. I couldn't guess. If you would say more than 20 years, I would have believed you as well. You can take that as a compliment, I think. I'm not quite sure. Well, Ian, at least there's alcohol, bad humor, and live streams about pigments, right? Joking. Do you have matcha powder there? Nice. Not the greatest fan of it, not for everything, at least. Well, things like soy sauce, or even, you know, the basic stuff that you could use, or you would use for sushi, like the pickled ginger as well. They had that last time. I love those things. As you notice, by the way, the music is gone. I'm just going to check. But this is quite an easy pigment. My yellow ochre, the, dare I say, vintage yellow ochre, which is, I think, a terrible thing to say about ochre, since this has been in the ground for eons. So calling it vintage yellow ochre is just a bit cringy, I think. But it's a barrel that's been in an old artist studio since the 60s. So I think I'm allowed to call this vintage. So yeah, this is a really fine version. And it's basically been my go-to yellow ochre since I got it. Oh, that's good. Gulchen. The little, like the stickers, I have one laying over here for the stuffed animals they have at Lidl, right? The collecting them. I'm collecting them for my girls, and I had like, you get them with like one of those with every 10 euros you spend, and I spent like 19 euros something last week. Also yesterday. Okay, days are getting blurry. That's not a good sign. They gave me one of those stickers. I say seriously, you know, I wasn't even with my girls, twins. Big brown eyes, looking at the guy. I said, "Couldn't you get, you know, one for each? Maybe then, you know, I think you'd just give me 20 and be done with it." But nope, only one for every 10 euros. That was like, why are people like that? Why are people like? It was like 3-4 people walking away, not even asking for the stickers, not even collecting them. I don't like those moments. Not at all. Especially since, you know, you saw the disappointment in their eyes. Oh, I mean, they have a few of them already. There was one lady who works there who was very kind to me, but this guy wasn't. For people who don't know what I'm talking about, this is probably most of you. Lidl is a supermarket here, and you get, like I said, you get a sticker with every 10 euro you spend there. If you have 18 of those stickers, you can get a mini plush, like a stuffed animal, forest animal. It's like this small. You can pick them, you know, in the store and take one for free in exchange of the full card of stickers. But, you know, having twin girls means needing twice as much of those stickers. Yeah, I sometimes do that. Gulchen, you can't grab them yourself here, unfortunately. But sometimes I do ask, like, are you collecting them? Or maybe, you know, even the person in front of me. But there's always, like, the begging kids outside of the store. That are little beggars asking for free stuff. So there's a lot of people already kind of promising the kids outside that they're going to give it to them. But, you know, my kids are way better than all the other kids anyway, so I don't know why people would do that. Hopefully every parent says that. I know, Sylvia, it was quite a sad moment. Also, part of life. Life isn't fair. I mean, that's also a good lesson, I think. I don't know if it's a good lesson. Yeah, but was 50 cents, Paolo. Like, I know that if I'm really late and there's like I don't like the white balance right now, and it's my phone, so I can't change it. That's unfortunate. Like, there's also, there have been times, and that wasn't this year. They do this every year, and like my kids had the receipt and asked, big brown eyes, can we have some? And that woman just, you know, looks at him, ah, and she just does those rolls of stickers. She just, I think they could get like 2 or maybe 3, but for, you know, what it was worth. And she just takes the entire roll and rolls out, I think it was 40 of those, gives them to one of my daughters, and says, "Oh, let's not forget you." And just does the exact same to my other girl. So we went back, just put all the stickers on the booklet, and they, you know, immediately looked for, I think it was mini plush fruits figures. It was back then. They immediately could look for, I think, 2 for both of, 2 each. So that was very lovely of her. And they were very happy. They were really, really, really happy. So that made, you know, their day, but also now it makes your day as a parent as well. I was absolutely disappointed that I couldn't choose one. I mean, no one asked the parents. Anyway, yellow was good, the ochre. Beautiful line over there. I need to use. I have a spare one. I think I need to use the one, but since this one is wearing a little bit. I backed 2 Egyptian palettes today, and I started 2 extra ones, apart from the ones that I already started last week. Toast, welcome. This is yellow ochre for my Egyptian remake palette, as well as my regular yellow ochre, which I first need to check if I need to refill that before I'm going to take new pans. Yeah, PY43. It says not applicable, the letters instead of PY43, because I started like this. Since last week I promised I was going to make a pigment out of, or at least I was, if the chat wanted to, would show a pigment out of the pigment collection boxes. Gulchen, not shipped yet. Printed and packed it is. But I will try to go to the postal office tomorrow. I can probably make that tomorrow. It is annoying when I print my label, it gets immediately, you get notified of it as well. Which can be a little bit annoying sometimes. But the tracking should say notification received, or tracking received, package not received, or something like that. I'm going to try to, sorry for the noise, for you to have it before the weekend. Or if there's no weird surprises tomorrow. Which I'm not expecting to be, but you never know. Having kids makes life just a big surprise, so that's not always a positive thing. It sounds like this is from a scary horror type of movie. What pigment box? All days. Haven't you rewatched all the live streams? Last week Wednesday I showed pigment collection boxes. I think I showed them to you before when you were still figuring out what pigment to buy. I'm not quite sure. I think I did show them to you that one live that was kind of like no one was there and you were asking all the questions you could. No judgment there. Just I think it was just one day that you were basically the only one in the chat. I think it was just during the morning. I think even a while back. Nah, don't feel obliged to do it. I mean, would really appreciate it. And I think last live streams, like the last irregular live streams, were some, you know, nice ones as well. But there's no pressure here. Just a tiny bit. It was basically just a free masterclass of, you know, me sharing everything that I knew and then everything that you asked. I should have charged you for that, I think. Looking back. Let's have a look. Let's check yellow. I did top that off last time, but there is at least 2 pens I can just top off a little bit. And these are finished. Oh, it was during your work break. Thank you for joining anyway. Then, even you know, I did think like what happened, but I was working as well, so it wasn't like yeah. Anyway, I really appreciate you joined us during your work break. Two tiny layers of that. I think we can center that a bit, and we can do something a little bit cheerier, right? Ryder, welcome. Let's get the camera down a bit like this, and I think we can focus it a bit better as well. This is better. Oh yeah, yeah, and then you left. Now I know. That is absolutely true. I think he became a member just before that or briefly after that. That is absolutely true. That's also the reason that I saved the live as something to rewatch. Otherwise, that would have been just. No. I could make that for members only. That's something I can do. But to be honest. I said it in the beginning of this live stream as well. My lives aren't something that are being rewatched a lot, especially like after the first week or two. Jacqueline, welcome. You would like the Egyptian palette, but you don't know how to go about it. About purchasing it? Or... some dots as well, maybe. Yeah, I can do some dots a bit. I didn't react on that, Jacqueline. I'm so if you are referring to a DM, I really need to check it. I haven't been active at all, so I completely forgot about that. I'm really sorry about that. I'm going to write that down just after I filled this. Then I'm going to do that directly after the live stream. I haven't, and that's, you know, one thing I know I should, when I post things, I even don't post it via the app when we're talking anything meta based. Actually, I'm not that I'm really boycotting anything there, actively boycotting anything. As a brand, I don't think I am. I'm in the position to do that. Oh, that's been a while ago since. Oh, really sorry, Jacqueline. Since then, I think last week was the first week I went live again. Since 3 weeks, because of the rest of my family went down as well. So it was a bit chaotic, just to put it mildly. Anyway, I don't enjoy using Instagram anymore for my business. Since when I'm trying to support others by just, you know, looking for my feed and trying to react or share things, or I don't do that very often, but there are things that are definitely worth sharing. But every 3 messages, every three posts, I am like, it freezes because I need to wait for an ad. Ever since that happened, I'm just, you know, and that happens like within the 30 seconds after opening the app, I just close it again. So yeah. Jacqueline, I saw your messages still. Everyone is kind of feeling better. But I noticed it was, I think, in general, people know it like spring break. My kids haven't enjoyed a single day of that because they were ill. So now they really are like in need for a few extra days off, and school has started again. So it's yeah, didn't feel very fair to them as well. I'm going to write that down. Yeah, but in all honesty, from my side, if you wouldn't have like said it now, I don't think I would have remembered until I saw like unread messages that I need to scroll through. So yeah, I'm glad you did mention it. AI bots, yeah, the AI videos are going to be a terrible competition for everyone on YouTube, since it's not that the information is wrong or if there's anything wrong with what what is shared in the video, but it is that lifeless voice that is being used. But that's kind of improving by the day, which is kind of scary already. It doesn't cost anyone anything to make those. Everyone can make those, and there are some channels that are very popular, making tons of money by not showing their face, by not having any skill apart from telling one AI bot to write a script, another one to do a voiceover, another one to search for stock images to show underneath that video and put them together. So creatively, like, AI could be a tool that artists can use as well, but it shouldn't be stolen from artists. But I have a story about that. So let me first get a drink. Another drink. A different drink, I mean. Something different. I do like this one. So I was approached by a company. And I do think, as a business, judging them as a business, I do think they are just a few months ahead of a lot of other businesses with the idea they shared with me. So I was approached by a business 3 weeks ago. Gulshan, absolutely right. And there's stories about that as well. I recently heard one that someone's voice was used without their permission. You think, well, luckily that is not my name. It misses a letter, so that's, luckily you're not talking about me. A hologram who could hold a glass. Anyway, I was approached by a business which has a business model where they buy the rights for the videos you currently have on your channel. So they buy the rights to use it, but they use it for their ends without showing it anywhere else. You keep the rights of keeping it on your YouTube channel, keeping your monetization, and keeping your profits from the ads that are showing during your videos. So basically, I wouldn't notice anything out of that deal, apart from the fact that they offered me quite a large sum, literally large sum of money. I'm talking tens of Ks, like tens of thousands of. They offered that to me, which was a real offer. I looked it up, and it's real. So I was kind of okay. Okay. This is a weird moment. Someone assessed my YouTube channel. They also told me what it was worth on the market, which kind of was kind of shocking. No, but this is the point. It is thinking like someone offers you money to get the rights for using it is kind of sketchy. Absolutely, without showing it, without sharing it, but they have the rights to have your videos in their archive to sell to AI engineers to train their AIs basically with the videos that they have the rights to. So they are buying, like, they fill their database, they fill their archives with all kind of creators with different, like, weird niches. So that's why they approached me. I have a very narrow niche. So they have, like, same with stock images, they have in their library paint making videos, pigment related stuff and things like that. So they have, yeah. They have things, they have a database, a library full of things they can sell to others to use to train their AI programming or AI software with. It is making your own competition, but then I'm very like I'm using AI as well, but in a way that I'm using it for a few of my thumbnails, for instance. I have a subscription to Adobe for editing and for Photoshop, so I can use that side of their services as well. And sometimes there's just, my studio has its limits when it comes to taking pictures. I mean, I have all the colors, but yeah. This picture around me, by the way, also AI. I want to be really transparent and honest about that. But I'm not using this to show anything that, is educational, but it's just a background. Usually I make everything myself. I literally take them. Sometimes I literally take it during the live, the picture. But so, I'm quite aware of the risks and everything that also having what is it? I have the Dutch sentence in my head, but that's the wrong way to form that sentence. Having being an artist myself, that's not right. In the past, I know I would never want my drawings or sculptures because there is 3D AI as well. I would never want that to be something that others could replicate because it was trained by my pictures. All right, so I know the downside of it as well. But the other side, if I'm not going to hand them, I can fully understand, Gulshan, that you're not happy about that. I can understand that if I'm not going to make money out of selling my own videos, others will. And others will get paid for it. So it was very tempting. The amount of money, as well as I still earn a few euros, like every week, by the and hopefully that's growing as well in the future, for the advertisements during my video. But then I was reading more about it online, about the company, and it that's where I found out it was legit, but also it was perpetually, I think that's the word for it, forever, like not when I die it stops. No, if I would become a business in 200 years, they would still, if they exist still, they would still have the rights as a single company to use those videos. If I would be approached by I don't know, the BBC, anyone, I'm just perpetually, thank you, Jacqueline, by anyone, and they want to show a segment of my video, I wouldn't be allowed to do that without the permission of that company. So that, those small letters, that part of the contract that I would get for it would really work against me in the future, potentially. And I don't think I will ever make the money that they offered with my YouTube channel, to be honest. I'm not as it going right now. So that's why I was just a little tempted by it. There is something that is working against me, and I want to know what it is, because some things are really slow reacting on my computer. I think OpenAI released with ChatGPT, they released too many like in-between models with a constant small improvement. So yeah, I do, with, for instance, OpenAI with ChatGPT, and it's not available in the Netherlands, but you can use a VPN and work around that. I do like the option that you're able, but then again, don't fully trust it, to be able to use your camera and ask ChatGPT about what you're seeing. Either you need to solve an equation, you want to think of a recipe with the ingredients that are in front of you, you want to know what kind of color a painting needs that brings everything in balance, or anything. You can literally ask him anything by just showing it to you, by opening the camera to it, which is fascinating and a bit scary at the same time. So yeah. Yeah, I don't think you no longer need to think for yourself. Well, yes and no, absolutely. But I do think, thinking for yourself, but just being able to think a little bit further, or trying to solve things that you usually wouldn't even think of solving. That's an interesting part for me. But that's just my opinion. And I do, literally, I do fully respect all the other opinions. It's not. Oh, this is my mouse, isn't it? It's just my mouse. It's not just my mouse. Yeah, it's just that mouse. That's annoying. Let me have a look if I can. So looking at my channel, for instance, that's only the only place I'm using AI at the moment. I'm saying at the moment because I can't rule out that I will never use any more of it. I don't want it to replace art. I don't want it to replace, and with art I mean like all forms of art, piece of art, videos, anything. But this is my channel, and there's my girls are using my channel as well. Oh, that's from the iPad. This is some of these are AI. Some of the backgrounds here are AI. Some of it is a background like let's have a look. The Pearl Orange one. I don't have bags filled with orange. So that's like I'm using a pile of pigment, for instance, as an example for AI. Like, use this, and I want you to to fill bags with it, for instance. Some of them are, yeah, it's like, I think, you know, everything in balance is still, you need to be very aware of the risks, and yeah. No, Bilchen, but I need to, that's an annoying part. I used to make everything like whatever was on my slab, I'm taking a picture of it and using that as a thumbnail. And I noticed that just didn't work for YouTube. I barely didn't get like any clicks on my videos, and that's where I kind of, you know, you need to stand out with a thumbnail, and then, you know, your video needs to be you just use the auto-generated ones that YouTube gives. Yeah, but they use AI for that as well. Or you mean the auto-generated ones, just the ones that are from your video? I do that with my lives. I used to do it with the videos. I do that with my shorts as well. I never use like custom backgrounds for my YouTube shorts. This is not a T, no. This is whiskey. But I noticed I didn't get any clicks from people that weren't my audience. So everyone that, you know, opens the homepage of YouTube and just, you know, saw one of my older thumbnails, they didn't really click that. When I, you know, did a combination of, you know, my own text, I do the own text, and I do the photoshopping and everything else, but having some elements that are more pleasing for the general public. I'm still a business. I mean, I need to think about it as well. Thank you, Ryder. Cheers. And in all honesty, it takes me a long time as well to even get like a generated background of something that I like, that fits my style or fits the vibe of the video. I don't know. It's way more difficult than people think it is as well. It's not like you say, okay, give me this, and it gives you exactly what you're saying. But yeah. No, the AI, like if you take, but I think that's for YouTube. That's a good part. When you show AI generated content, so thumbnails are kind of, you can do with it whatever you want. If it's AI generated, you don't need to mention that. I do. If you are using, whether it is one image or video segments or just any part of your content, if it is AI generated, you need to click the box that it is AI generated. And I do appreciate that, because that, you know, wasn't the case always. Hope to see you soon, Sylvie. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to put these in the dryer. But yeah, it's you know, new technology, new stuff. It's happening a lot quicker than it used to happen with other like new developments. Right now, AI can improve AI, and you know, there's movies about that. See you next time, Sylvie. I think with the... Now I'm just literally thinking out loud with my mouth full. Like AI and crypto, which is also quite a... It's been there for almost 2 decades. A little less. But it's looking at finance and looking at anything financial, basically. Crypto is still very early in its development, very early in its how it is accepted and used. But that's going fast as well. And before you know it, there's like... I read about a guy just last week, and it's all meme coins. It's like it's more dangerous than gambling, basically. He started with I think it was $300, and he made that into $1.5 million just in half an hour. That's just being there at the right time, at the right moment, just doing the right thing, and taking your money out on the exact right moment as well. Before it crashes. If any one of you knows how meme coins work and what a rug pull is, for instance, then you know what I'm talking about. But I don't even go there. I know about it. I read about it. I see it happening, and I it's literally proof of people making that kind of money. So the entire idea of why wouldn't you do it? It's like it's too much of risk. It's just too much of a risk. It's not something... If you just know about it and have a screen, you can also do it. It's... yeah. There's also a lot of scams. Yeah, but there's ways. There's definitely ways of checking if it's a scam or not. Especially with the for instance, Bitcoin. It's proven itself, right? Bitcoin isn't a scam. It's there. It's worth a lot of money. It has gained, like, I think since its release a few million %, like yeah. Sentient, but that's going to get, luckily that's going to get more difficult as well, since thank you, old days. About that, while I'm cleaning, you need to more and more, and I think that's going to be a regulation there. You need to have registered your wallet where you hold your crypto, in a way that the government knows, what you're holding, or at least what wallet you're holding. Not maybe what's inside your wallet. But there's going to be people who know who is behind a certain wallet, which is necessary to stop those things. They're not made to be centralized. I mean, it's decentralized, but I mean, more and more wallets and marketplaces for crypto ask for KYC, know your client. I'm sorry, old days. You are being serious. I thought you just, let's talk about pigments, which you are completely not wrong with that. It is granulating. Yes, it's an ultramarine pigment. So basically, rule of thumb, ultramarines granulate. Some more than others. You have French ultramarine, which is usually is a lot finer. Which is blue ultramarine, which is a lot finer and does granulate a little bit less. But regular ultramarines, they granulate, yeah. PV15 is ultramarine. Yeah. PB15, PB. Phi, yeah, PB15 is phthalo blue. Ryder says it started as a parallel way for not using banks. Well, just to finish the crypto thing, there are some cryptos that are implemented for banks to be used right now, which is interesting. So yeah, and you could have. What did you say? You could have gotten a couple of bitcoins. Yeah, thinking back, yes. Same here. But yeah, that's something I don't want to think about. Since when I first heard about Bitcoin, it was literally €5 for a Bitcoin. And they were even cheaper. But before that, €5 for a Bitcoin. It's now right around the 90,000 euros for one Bitcoin. So yeah. I don't want to think about that. So let's start talking pigments again. Speaking of pigments and Bitcoin, that's about the same time we still could have gotten a lot of quinacridone gold, ultramarine, green, thioindigoids. 2010 was very well. That was literally the beginning of it. I think I found out 2011, 12-ish, maybe. But yeah, so that was 15 years ago. We could have gotten a lot of pigments that we can't get anymore nowadays. So thinking back, yeah, that hurts. But if you, and that, a little offense maybe, I want to say no offense, but reading this, a little offense maybe. If you used to have around 100 Bitcoins, why was someone else able to sell them without your permission? That's something I'm wondering if you're saying that. Old days. I miss it as well. Sorry. When I started making paint and I started curating my first set of watercolors, and you know, especially my first mixing set, I read about quinacridone gold. Sorry, shouldn't laugh. That hurts. That hurts. Anyway, I mean, 50 grand is an okay amount, right? I mean, Bitcoin could have gone the other way, right? I mean, you didn't know, no one knew back then. But I only found out about quinacridone gold when it was gone already. When Daniel Smith already bought everything and was the only brand still selling it actively. But I didn't buy any Daniel Smith quinacridone gold back then. I wouldn't have bought it now either, by the way. Maybe if they had half pence, maybe something to compare it with, like the one that I have, but not. I don't collect watercolors. I collect pigments. Yeah, hopefully no shine. Yeah. Bronzing. Yeah, but it's same goes for manganese blue. Although, you know, in all fairness, my manganese blue isn't cheap. I'm realistic about that. The pigment isn't cheap for me. It's not something I can always have in my stock. I can't always buy it. It will run out. But seeing like tubes of Old Holland, especially Old Holland, I think they sold that for the longest still. Go away for like 300 euros for a tube, $300 for a tube even. That's crazy. That's really crazy. It should be a mix. At least I don't think they sell PO48 as well anymore. Maybe they do. I don't know how much is left of that with them. I know more and more brands are replacing that as well. They used to sell. They used to sell quinacridone gold, PO48, and nickel azure yellow, PY150, as a mix for quinacridone gold. A lot of brands did that. But yeah. A PB33, it is like quinacridone gold is like a bit overhyped in my opinion. It is a nice color. It's not like super unique. I can go, you know, you can go a long way with a good yellow ochre and a good yellow, like transparent yellow orange. You can get great mix with that as well. But manganese blue is something quite unique. You can't mix it. Same with PB17. You can't mix a blue as cyan as that. Definitely can come close with a white and a phthalo pigment, but it wouldn't be as saturated as the manganese blue. Also, manganese blue has beautiful granulation in it, which is just something very unique for the pigment. The drama was with PO49, yeah. Yeah, basically everyone knew about PO49 being, oh, I have I'm losing a lot of frames here. I'm okay. Should be good now. Again, it was kind of, I saw it happening there, and it reconnected. It should be good. Everyone missed PO49. Daniel Smith bought the entire stock, so it would last them 10 years or blah blah blah. It didn't last them as long. And PO49 was a surprise for most of the market, even paint suppliers. It just stopped being produced. Thanks, Ian, for making it heavy like that. It's just stopped, and that wasn't nice. That was. I found out that I couldn't get it anymore when I ordered it. Just like that. It wasn't for no reason. It's just because there wasn't enough demand for it, and we, like we said before, as the art supply industry are just at the bottom of the food chain, basically. We really don't matter when it comes to the income of pigments. No, people can synthesize it, but the basic element to make it, or the basic element, it's just too expensive to make for looking at the demand for it. So yeah. I mean, I don't really miss it. I have a few good bottles of PO48 left here, and some of, some PO49, but PO48, I don't want to say plenty of it, but there's a fair amount of it. PR2 is 6, yes, more. Well, one of the things that I found out to be discontinued when I started offering it as a regular paint in the line that I offer, was PY153. I was like nickel dioxide yellow, my Indian yellow. I offered that in my regular line of paint, and then Jane Blundell spoke to me. I don't know how that came about, but have a great night, great rest of the week, Paolo. Ryder, you as well, thanks for joining. Now I talked about Jane with that. I sent her some of my paints to try. She said, how did you get PY153? Since that's been discontinued with most brands, I didn't know about that. So I looked into that, and I offered that, I think in 2020, I started offering that. And it appeared that has stopped production since 2012 as well. So, but the supply of that is, or was, quite a lot still. So, I think you're now doing it on purpose, Ian. I mean, you're saying auto-connect. Well, you mean auto-correct. I think that's on purpose. Saying Paula instead of Paula. I think all those things are just you being Ian. I mean, like, we've been here for an hour and a half already, and it's getting worse and worse. I don't know how much beers you already had right now, but yeah. Old days, you see some more folks selling it. Yeah, yes. Guerra started to offer it as well as a pigment dispersion. So that's the same with PO49. I offered that like 2 months before some people found out that Guara had it as well. Like people who made watercolor paints and started using that. So a lot of those things. Yeah, I don't believe you anymore now, Ian. It's just, you know, it's so hard to know what's real anymore these days. But yeah, it's a weird world, the world of pigments. I mean, if you look at, you know, it's not visible, so that really doesn't apply. But if I think about how hard I've looked for some pigments, how hard I've worked for some of them to get them, and how much some of them cost me to get them, it's crazy. And with some, it's been just luck. Referring again to the Paris green. And I know there's enough people who are interested in pigments who don't even want to be near that stuff, which is more than logical. But having something like that, like a piece of pigment history in your collection, is something quite beautiful. It's interesting in a way. Yeah, it's it's a poison. It's toxic AF, and you shouldn't want a kilogram of it. I mean, you. That's just weird. It's just, I'm just thinking about, like, what would you do with a kilogram of arsenic pigment? But you know, having other stuff like Indian yellow, for instance, like the mummy brown, like what else is here? Tyrian purple, and all other things. I don't use that. Ivory black. I don't use that. I don't. Well, I can say I have a kilogram of it. If that would annoy you, I'm happy to say that I do. I think more if I would measure everything together. I wouldn't. I don't have a kilogram of one single version. In all honesty, but I don't use those pigments. I have them, and it annoys you very much. Well, that brightens up my day just a bit. No, just kidding. But something like Theoindigoid, violet or red PR88 is something that yeah. They used to use ivory, which comes from the elephant tusks or the horns of a rhino, even. They char the ivory, which is basically putting it into fire without letting oxygen with it, so in a closed container or something like that. Same way you make charcoal. Thank you for that addition, Ian. And then they ground it up to a fine powder, and then you end up with this, which is ivory black, original ivory black in a plastic container. My apologies for that. I could put this in a fancy glass one, but this is just how, you know, I got mine. I don't use that. but it's part of history, and that is from an old. That is not like a new production. They don't make that. They haven't made that for decades, but they made enough of it for it to last decades, which is wrong in itself. So it's not even allowed to sell anymore. Like the pigment, ivory itself, but the pigment as well. It's not allowed to trade anything like that anymore. Old days, it is a little bit, I want to say cooler. I could make a mistake here, but I want to say cooler than bone black. But bone black is basically like, instead of the tusks or the horns, it is it's bones from slaughterhouses. If you eat a steak, there is an animal that has been used in any possible way, for any possible industry, whether it's and it's really like it's the truth. I don't like it, but that's just a hard truth. Whether it's cosmetics, the food industry, glue, or paint and pigments, bone black just is burnt and ground up animal bones. That's what it is. And it's not illegal. I have it, I sell it. Bone black is a pigment that all paint manufacturers sell as well, or at least almost all of them. It is what it is. And I won't save any animal if I'm not selling the pigment, because the bones are there anyway. That's the least interesting part of the animal. The rest of that is way more valuable, which is eaten by people. It is waste, basically. Yeah. Did you ever swatch it? Yeah, I swatched it, and I made it. I don't know if that was during a live. A long time ago. That I do know that. And if that was during a live, I don't think I was able to save those. Not quite sure. I'll need to look that up. But it would be one of my first ones, or between one of my first ones. But yeah, but again, those aren't things I would get or spend money on to use, right? Those would be things, pieces of history that I want to have in my collection, or that I need in my collection, because it feels like that right now. I need some things in my collection. In all honesty, I have no issue with making it for you. Now, I know the pigment, I know its history, but I don't want to encourage anyone trying to get the pigment. So that's kind of the thing I'm struggling with at the moment. I'm happy to show you that part of history, while also telling you that that's just, hopefully we learned from our mistakes in the past, but turning on the news every day really makes me question that, if we really learned from our mistakes in the past. Kind of seeing history repeating itself at the moment. So when it comes to animals, or maybe even human remains like mummies, hopefully we don't ever see that happening again. Or animals you know, being fed just a single leaf or a single kind of leaf to get a beautiful deep yellow. Well, blacks can be beautiful. I mean, there is beautiful black pigments on the market. Even with watercolors. I don't know if that's comforting. Comforting. What was that? Comforting. I don't know. I don't know about that. I think black has its place. I don't think you should, like, if you want a darker hue or a darker color of any color you use, you should mix it with black per se. But well, PBK 31 is basically green. PBK 30 green. PBK 32 green. PBK 32 is a more natural looking version of that, in my opinion. I saw something. I was cleaning up my desk a bit, and let's see if I have a look if I put it over here. I think I did find it. There is the one that's the other way around, and I did find it over here. I do need to clean it a little bit, I see, because there are some chips of other paint in it. There we go. This is PG17. PG17. Chromium oxide green, you know. You know. Let's have a look if I also have chromium oxide green, by the way, in this little box. And I know some of you don't like that color. I'm going to take it out anyway. Since I spoke about this the other day, and there is a dark version of PG17, yeah. But it's kind of the other way around. By the way, I still need to write some things down here. This was with that. This is just PB86. This was red ochre. PR102. And this is PY110, my new version of it. Oh, this is already. So this is PG17 as you know it, right? Everyone knows this version. Now this is the dark side of PG17. Which is more black than some blacks that I have. WTF. I really like this. This is also a part that I like about watercolors. Or watercolors that I like about pigments in general. I mean, it's not just watercolors. Let's have a look if any brand carries this. Not really. Huh. That is interesting. Now mix. Okay, I will. I will. Gulchen, I will. Just one moment, please. Let me just get to the... Does Schmink carry it? Yeah, does Schmink have it? It's chromium green black hematite. And chromium green black hematite is the reaction product of calcining at high temperature, mostly chromium oxide, so it creates a crystalline hematite. Its composition may include one or a mixture of, well, that's all chemical. That is from artistcreation.com. It is a very neutral, I mean, literally I'm just going to show it to you as close as I can. It's a very neutral, deep black, but very neutral. And I do really appreciate that about this little weird version of PG-17. So having a black pigment like PBK31 or 32 being green, we also have a green pigment being black. I think that those are kind of pigments with kind of identity crises, but I think we just need a little bit of the black, but could be wrong. Is basically what this does is basically means this basically makes a different version of chromium oxide. I mean, I'll probably have a version like this over there. That is a pretty good army green. It's a little bit too close, that one. But yeah, that's... I like those. I haven't used that black in a long time, to be honest. Like I said, I was cleaning some stuff and I found it, made it a while back, just, you know, because I was experimenting with some stuff. That black, that's a pretty strong one. So yeah, PG-17 but black. Which is fun. Also, what made that interesting for me was that it is it's not only a green pigment that is black, it is literally a the same pigment number as one that is not even close. I mean, that's like a very opaque, dullish green that you usually have from PG-17, and I'm not familiar with those. Oh, I think I am. I think I saw a comparison of them once with. There's a line of graphite paints as well, graphites that are tinted with other with colors. A tinted graphite series of paint. I'm not quite sure where that came from, which brand carried that, but I thought I saw a comparison between the two. That still doesn't ring a bell. Let me have a quick look if I can find another one of those weird pigments like this. Because there's more of it. We have an antimony pigment, for instance. Let's quickly pick this one. Okay, it is not in this database. I'm not holding a rare pigment here, am I? Come on. Okay. Pigment, Kramer sells it as a pigment, and that's about it. This is antimony, gray, black. PR, pigment red, 107. I'm just going to make a tiny bit of it, just to swatch. PR 107. Probably should be a little bit more careful with this, and I'm just going to look it up. Maybe I need to wear a mask. I need to read into this. I'm really sorry about this, but I really want to be careful enough with this, because one database that it is in says it's toxic to inhale, but Kramer doesn't give any information like this. We're just going to be very, very, very careful with this. This is just a tiny, like you see my hand, this is just a tiny bit of pigment. Let's quickly re-wet this and not inhale any of it. I think that's a good plan. Sounds like a solid plan. And I'm not going to lick my brush today. Also, this was with the black pigments. Well, it's a PR pigment. That is weird. But I knew where to find it because I recently ran into this pigment. I'm using a lot of pressure right now on my slab. So let's just see what that looks like, right? They still sell it, yeah. I just saw how expensive this is. This is 61 euros. So anyway, yeah, this isn't blowing my mind. I've never tried this pigment, by the way. So, I'm just going to let you enjoy this from up close. It is slightly granulating already, although the contrast is a little bit high in the camera, I think. Going to tweak that a bit for you, but it's it's a little less neutral in my opinion. This is not nano black, no. This is PR107. Just a little less contrast. A little less contrast there. And the white balance can be tweaked a little bit as well. It's making it quite difficult for me. Not quite sure if this is quite accurate. Okay, this is good. Looking at this and the greens then, yeah, this is quite accurate. Can be a tad higher. Okay, so it's quite hard to just see from a earth red and yellow next to a black, but so the picture is quite accurate right now. Compared to the PG17, and let's see if we can both get them in close-up, it's a little bit more granulating, and this one is a little cooler maybe, this one, which makes sense because this is a green and this is a red pigment. But yeah, is this worth this one? 60 euros for a tiny jar? No, I don't think so. And not if you want to make watercolors. If you're collecting pigments, everything is worth that. But the red seems a bit richer. It's really weird that we're talking about a red and a green. This one seems a bit richer. I think that's because it's still wet. And also, we need to take into account that it might have a drying shift, this one, and this one a little less. Sorry about my cap, I'm just looking for very close up. It is also slightly more granulating. So let's not waste that tiny amount that we made. Yeah, thank you, good. I beat you to it. But yes, at least I beat you to it in my timeline. blacks because I added the water. It's a little bit too fluid, but I think this will work. Do I have more swatches to compare it with? You know me. I have my very organized pile of swatches, right? What do you want to see? Blacks, maybe? Blacks, just go to the blacks. Maybe that's a little bit too much to ask right now. Go to the blacks. I don't know where the blacks are. Where are the blacks? Where are the blacks? Why is there no blacks? This is making me anxious right now. There's mixes. Ah, there's the blacks. This is mixes. Oh, there's a system in this. I knew there was. Mixes on the bottom. Browns next to it. So I have PBK 26 Spinel Black, which is the blackest neutral black that I have. Blackity black. PBK 9 Bone Black, which is a tad warmer, a little bit deeper but warmer. PBK 31 Perylene Green. Perylene Black, which is I think more green, but that's PBK 32. PBK 11 Iron Oxide Black. PBK 10 Graphite. So these are the blacks. Do we miss PBK 7? Probably. Possibly. I don't offer it. But looking at this, I might. So yeah, these are my blacks. Is a Spinel Black. It's deeper. This is deeper. This is deeper and more neutral than anything here. So this would be, this is my blackest black, basically my blackest black, not the blackest black, but my blackest black. I like all the handling qualities of PBK 9 best, maybe out of the blacks. It's a bit warmer. It has a little bit more character to it. PBK 11 is quite aggressive when it comes to the granulation. PBK 10 is just too transparent, and it's like the PV 14 cobalt violet under the blacks, right? It really doesn't mix well, and it has low tinting strength. Then we have the Perylenes, which both have its purposes. We have the Perylene Green and Perylene Black, which is I think more green, more natural green at least. So we don't really need a PBK 7, but it would be lovely to have one. In the range of paints. I'm going to look up where I got the PG17 from. Kramer also sells that, and it's way more expensive, way more cheap. Oh, sorry, way less expensive than the red the red black pigment, where this is 50 grams, like 60 euros. This one is 60 euros for a kilogram, which is 20 times more than this. So yeah, let's just take advantage of all the technology that we have laying around here, shall we? Just showing off here. Let's have a look. We can also do the yes, macro lens there. So this has like little, this is new by the way, we can change lenses. We can zoom in now as well, which really doesn't focus that well from close up, but this does. This has a kind of a speckles in it, or you know, a slight texture to it. Well, this has a slight shimmer. I'm quite sure if you can see it as well. Oh, I can come very close here. That is nice. Sorry about this. This is definitely like, this is granulation. But this has a just a weird like cheetah-like texture to it. You know what I mean? That's this weird stuff. These are the parallenes next to each other. I'm really happy with that. I'm able to, you know, annoy you like this right now. PR107 can form explosive compounds with organic. Oh, that's great. It's a Heckman gauge. Old days. It's not a silly question at all. What's the time, guys? It's been 11 o'clock already. I'm going offline. This has been fun. Although, speaking of AI and crypto, it definitely had a wider audience than we have right now. Probably the algorithm. But no, thank you everyone very much for joining another live stream again. I'm trying to get as much paint of my palette knife into that dot. It's in the artist creation database. Seriously, that's open here. Was that open? It is open, yeah. It was in front of me, right over here. Did I miss that? This is fun. This is fun. Just hear me out. On artist creation, PR107, antimony red. This is definitely not red. Light yellow, orange to deep carmine to black. Well, mine is definitely black, but it may blacken in presence of lead pigments. Can react explosively with some organic materials. Some organic, so not all of it. I was really afraid that putting like gum arabic to it might make an explosive dot pan, which would make an interesting piece for putting it in a parcel. No, just kidding. That was a joke. I'm not sending this up, okay? No worries, anyone. Okay, that was just a bad joke. It's late. I'm really sorry about this. I don't want my paints to explode. It's artistcreation.com. To be more precise, it is this exact link. Ow, that was my knee. It may blacken in presence of lead pigments. Well, too late. It's already black. That I am wondering though, I'm going to go offline and I'm going to say thank you, but I'm wondering if I can find a red version of PR107. I'm going to look that up in my mobile while I try to fall asleep. later on. Thank you everyone so much for joining. Might go again online again tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be mostly making and finishing, topping off some paints. I got some very specific orders in this week, which kind of stressed me out because of all the other orders that I need to either finish or ship. But I'll be working on that as well. So you might want to join me or be able to join me for that if you can. I might go again online tomorrow morning if I don't have anything else to do, and I want to feel the pressure of you watching me work. People call that ADHD streaming. Just feeling the pressure of others watching, which is quite a bit, quite confronting when someone asks if something is an ADD stream. It's like, is it that obvious? So anyway, might do that tomorrow. I'm not sure how late I'll be online, but if you would, turn on notifications, just that little bell icon next to the subscribe button underneath this live stream, you'll get a notification when I go online or when I post a new video. So push that button. Please push the like if you haven't already. And hopefully see you again very soon. Thanks everyone for joining. And I'm going to write down that this is PR107. Otherwise, I will never guess that again, and I need to watch back all my lives. Hopefully you do. Thank you very much, Lumo, for confirming that or asking anyone. But please push everything that all the other YouTubers say you must push to help them, so you help me. See you again very soon, guys, and have a great rest of the day.